Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the team of the season, Edmond Tapsoba. We're going to go through the card as detailed stats, clips and summary, as well as the SBC requirements for you guys to get your hands on him. Before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card. And now, let's get into the video. So guys, this is a team that I used, Edmond Tapsoba, and I played him, of course, in that centre-back slot in the 4-2-3-1. And overall, guys, my first impressions, this card is easily one of the best value cards of the year, one of the best centre-backs I've used this year. And actually, guys, he will be a stalwart in my team where I've previously used fullbacks. I can now use this guy in my centre-back slot because he is so solid. Let's just get into the review, though. Edmond Tapsoba, 6'4", medium height, work rates, right-footed, 2-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot, 15 games played, 1 goal and 1 assist for me. Now guys, overall I think this card played really well. Everything plays really well for this card, other than of course that 3-star weak foot and 2-star skill moves. Of course, skill moves not commonly associated with centre backs unless they're foot birthday cards. More important for me is that weak foot, it is only 3-star. Now his left foot is pretty capable, but it would be nice to have 1 extra star there. His work rates and height are fantastic. And the goal he scored for me, guys, which you're going to see in the clips, was an absolute worldie, so we'll get into that into the clips themselves. In terms of the chemistry style, I put a shadow on him, although you could equally put a number of other chemistry styles on him as well. However, they may not be as effective in boosting the stats which you need to help out on this card, which leads me nicely into the stat categories here. The key pros of the card: all the defensive stats are actually really good. So in a way, the shadow is slightly wasted on him, but we'll get into why we use the shadow more in the final summary. The physicality on this card is really great as well. Great strength, aggression, jumping, heading, all of that stuff as well. His passing, both long and short, is fantastic. And actually, guys, his dribbling as well is really good. So you're able to maneuver out of tight situations 2 ways, both with just playing the ball out via passes, and the other one by dribbling past. Say if you've got a press on, you can dribble past the press with this card and get your team playing with this card as well. The speed is a pro as well, guys. However, it does need a slight helping hand with the acceleration. And that leads me nicely into the cons of this card. The acceleration is a big one. I would recommend boosting that because he is quite a big card, quite a stocky card. Helping the acceleration out will only enhance how well he plays. I do feel like at times, guys, his stamina could be a little better, especially over a game with extra time. It's a slightly low if you're going for 90 minutes. I mean, in the final few minutes, he may get tired when you're susceptible to counterattacks. But overall, I think that's fine as well. And otherwise, guys, I can't really complain about how this centre-back plays because, again, he is a centre-back. He's not a full-back. And he's very good at a lot of things that centre-back shouldn't be good at as well. So, guys, I did really love overall how well this card played. In terms of the player traits, he's only got the one, the power header trait. So now that we've covered that, let's get into the SBC requirements for you guys to get your hands on him. So guys, getting into Edmond Tapsoba's SBC requirements is 344k on the PlayStation, 337 on Xbox, and 395 on the PC. Now guys, this may look like a slightly expensive squad, but actually for the player that you're getting, and you'll see that in the clips, this is such a bargain. And this may well be, and I did say Waman Gituka would have been the best price SBC of the year, and having used this card a little more now than Waman, and having used Waman as well, I'm going to restate that this is the best SBC of the year, and it's up there with the likes of Robben and Kleiber and Rooney and Waman Gituka as well. This SBC is absolutely fantastic for getting one of, if not the best centre-back this year in terms of overall capability. There's 2 squads for this. The second one is an 86 rated squad with 1 Bundesliga player in it, 193k for that squad. And then the first one is an 85 rated squad with an inform or a tots moments player, 65 chemistry in there as well. Now guys, actually the price of this has increased dramatically since I did it, purely because this is such a great value SBC, and actually EA have been smashing the Bundesliga content, so the prices of fodder has shot right back up for everyone to get a hold of all of these overpowered cards. But this is certainly one of them that is absolutely fantastic and worth your coin as well. And now that we've covered that, let's get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting to some of Tapsoba's moments here. What you guys are going to see is his general ability in that centre-back slot to be able to be dominant and strong, and how well he did for me in that role. Now the first thing we'll get into, guys, is his pace. Now his pace is decent off the bat. I do feel like that the right chemistry style will help him out tremendously, and it's mostly because of his size, guys. He is still 6'4", really big build as well, so helping that pace out a little bit, in my opinion, is necessary. However, if you do play a 5 at the back, then it may not be so much so, but if you certainly are going to play 4 at the back or a 3 at the back, then this will be necessary for you guys just to help him out in that department. In terms of the passing, guys, both his long and short passing are fantastic. Now the rest of the stats aren't that good, like the curve for example, or the vision, but overall guys, you don't really need them with this card. You just need to be able to play the solid passes out of defense and then get the attacks going as well. And overall guys, this card is very good, very capable at doing that as well. And overall I loved him for his passing range, just in terms of being able to come out with the ball, or being able to switch the ball easily, or just even simple little 1-2s as well. He was able to do all of that stuff for me. The next thing we'll get into guys is his dribbling. Now his dribbling is really solid actually, considering the Future Stars card was good, okay at it, but this card is actually good at it. And what's surprising about his dribbling is how well he's able to move, considering how big he is as well. So at times guys, I was shocked to find that I could actually dribble around with this card rather than having to just simply pass the ball like before. Although his passing range is fantastic, this dribbling element adds another way for you guys to break out of those high pressure situations in defense and get your attacks going. As you guys can see over and over again, he's able to carry the ball forward as well as just tackle the opponent too, which leads us into the defending aspect of this card. And the defending on this card is elite. If you put a shadow on him, it becomes even better. If you put an anchor on him, of course, it becomes even better. So guys, for me, even if you don't boost it at all, the defending on this card is fantastic, and he's really strong in the tackle, really good in the tackle, really quick in the tackle as well, as you guys can see with some of these slide tackles, stand tackles and blocks. And overall guys, that was really important, because a defender should be able, as I always say, to defend first. The last thing we'll get into guys, and the also most important factor about this card in line with his defending, is his physicality. He is a very physical player guys, and what that means is that you're able to physically bully any defender, any attacker, and with the speed that he has as well, it really does provide a lot of a mismatch in terms of how you're playing against those strikers as well. You're able to physically bully them, and if they're a bit bigger or stronger, they certainly will not, in most likely scenario, have the speed to be able to compete with him as well. And even if they do, he's certainly got a chance at least then of competing against those elite strikers. This final clip, the only goal he scored for me. So guys, if we just get into this Edmond Tapsoba final summary, of course 343, 344 on the PlayStation, 337 on the Xbox, and 396 on the PC. The key pros of the card guys, as I mentioned before, the passing range phenomenal on this card. You guys have seen the goal he scored. I guess that shot power is a big factor. The dribbling, very good actually for such a big centre back. Great defending stats, great physicality stats. Now guys, the reason that I use the shadow on this card and not something else, if we put the shadow on, that's what it takes his pace up to there and brings his defending up to as well. Now, admittedly, the defending is wasted a lot because the stats max out before it can go up fully. So another suggestion is to go with the anchor. Now the anchor is good, however the 90 acceleration does worry me, especially for a card of this size. I don't personally like it on this card, and I found him a tad slow, so that's why I stuck with the shadow on this card. It does however help him out in the jumping and aggression and strength department, but honestly guys, I don't feel like he needs it with that size. My recommended chemistry style for you guys is the shadow to take advantage of that fantastic pace and defending. You can of course go with a catalyst, but actually guys, it's wasted entirely because it boosts stats which really have no relevance to this Tapsoba card. So again, I'm going to recommend you go with the shadow. In terms of similar players guys, there really isn't anyone like this card apart from Team of the Year Virgil van Dijk. In terms of strength, size, capability on the ball as well, he really is a fantastic card in that regard, and plays just like, if not in terms of technical ability as good as Virgil van Dijk in some cases, particularly in the passing department, but certainly in every defensive element as well. I think he's just as dominant, I think he's just as strong and just as capable as that Team of the Year Van Dijk. In terms of linkability, perfect links of course because of his nation being Burkina Faso. However, lots of strong links from Amiri, the free card, Damari Gray, the showdown card that's just come out, Leon Bailey, both Lars and Sven Bender, Wendell of course as well if you did that card, Daily Sinkgraven if you got that league player as well. So many linking options in there too, which makes this card really nice as well to link in. If we get into the price comparison here guys, going down to where he kind of falls in, he falls in just below that Jeremiah Saint-Just, and just above Ronald Koeman and Marcel Desailly's baby card. Now guys, for me, this is an absolute steal of a card in terms of how good he is compared to where he sits. All of these players around him are nowhere near his level in terms of what he's able to do, how he's able to do it. Maybe that's just in terms of pace and technical ability, but not in terms of defending ability. This Lacroix, even though he is very good as well, I do rate Tapsoba higher than him. And if I was to go upward to where I think this Tapsoba belongs, I genuinely believe he belongs in the upper echelon of some of these centre backs here, alongside some of your team of the year Ramos's, UCL Lies, Varane. Somewhere in that category, he belongs in, for me, the top 10 centre backs in the game that you can get, and it's an SBC which costs you 300 and something K. For me, guys, it's a no-brainer, which leads me into this final recommendation on this card, is that if, of course, you have to be able to fit the card into your team, but if you can, this is easily one of the top 10 centre-backs of the year. He's one of the best centre-backs I've used this year, and I absolutely love this Future Stars card, and this card only serves as a stark reminder as to how good this card is. Now, if you can't afford this card, the Future Stars card has tanked in price, so you'll be able to pick it up for really cheap as well. I would recommend grinding out to get this card in the few days that are left, because he certainly is worth it. For me, he's been absolutely dominant, and he's been the best defender on the pitch every single game that I've used him. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow so much. Thank you again, and I will see you all in a bit.